Hello everyone, I'm Bernard the scuba diver, and I love to explore the ocean. I go on daily swims to go and explore and check out different living things in the water. Come follow me. Let's go over here. Ooh, what's this?
Hi, I'm Esther, the entoprocta.
Wow, you can talk? And hi, I'm Bernard.
Yes, I'm a special kind of animal. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. As you can tell, I'm beautiful, bilaterally symmetrical, and 5 millimeters long. I'm so cool that my body has more than 2 cell layers, my tissues and organs. My body cavity is pseudocoela, meaning fluid-filled, and is normally and permanently attached to my substrate. I have a U-shaped and ciliated gut with an anus and an intracellular digestion with an open mouth and anus in the circle of my tentacles where digestion and absorptions occur. Sadly, I have no respiratory organs, so my gaseous exchange takes place over the whole surface of the body. I use my sensory bristles and pita to feel things around me. Specifically, I have a central ganglion with a circumesophageal ring.
How about your family?
I'm always surrounded by a family of aquatic invertebrates composed of about 150 species and subdivided into 4 families. I have cousins throughout the world, especially in marine habitats through one genus, Ornithala, in a freshwater form.
Where do you live?
Well, I live here, primarily sedentary and either colonial or solitary in coastal marine environments. By living on solitary species, I take advantage of the feeding currents while growing on shells and algae.
So, how do you guys reproduce?
Wow, Bernard, you're asking quite a lot of questions. This is actually exciting, though. My family and I are both asexual by budding and sexual. Weird, right? We're hermaphrodites and can produce free-swimming larvae that settle on a substrate before undergoing metamorphosis into the sessile adult form. We reproduce by budding, which is when buds are developed at the base of or crown of me, since I live alone, and grow to a full size, eventually breaking off of me to live as a new individual.
I eat a lot of food. My favorite food is actually sushi. What do you eat?
I love food too. I'm actually a sessile suspension feeder. My favorite foods are planktivores, diatoms, and algae. On my tentacles, cilia and glandular cells generate water currents to capture my food, either big or small, and move it to the base of my tentacular crown. These food particles are moved to the food grove, eventually carried into my mouth, leading to ciliary action and muscle contractions to move the food through the digestive system. And you know what happens after eating some food? My waste is discharged from my anus.
Do you ever move around and travel?
In terms of locomotion or how I get around, I'm pretty happy just remaining right here on my rock or in my sediment. There are a few species that can move very slowly, but not me.
So, where did you come from? Did you hatch from an egg?
I did not start out as an egg, but I was a little embryo that budded off of another adult entoprocta. Then I followed the holoblastic spiral cleavage pattern that is typical of protosome organisms. I continued growing through the mesoderm and coablastula stages. After that, I became a free-swimming larva. After the larva stage, most of us settle down and attach to a rock somewhere, and we live out the rest of our lives.
Thanks for sharing your childhood story with me, Esther. How do you feel about humans? Do entoprocta and humans have a good relationship?
To tell you the truth, Bernard, in terms of economic importance to humans, besides research and education, there are no known positive effects for humans from entoprocta. There is some suspicion that I may cause water vessel fouling, but that hasn't been confirmed yet.
How long have entoprocta like you existed for?
The only accepted fossil member of our phylum dates back to the Jurassic period, about 200 to 145.5 million years ago.
How did you guys originate?
We were first discovered in 1774 and were classified with the phylum Bryozoa or Ectoprocta. It was not until 1869 when Heinrich Nietzsche separated them from the bryozoans and applied the name entoprocta. This change was based on the differences in body cavity and embryonic cleavage pattern.
What about your placement on this tree?
Although entoprocta are undoubtedly protosomes, their position within that group is difficult to determine. No entoprocta indicates a close relationship with any specific spiralium phylum, so until more research is done, the entoprocta was placed at the base of the tree. There is also confusion regarding whether entoprocta and ectoprocta are monophyletic. Some believe they are not monophyletic and therefore should occupy a separate phyla.
Why do these trees look a little different?
These trees could look slightly different because traits can be gained and lost over the evolutionary history of the species, and it is up to the one building the phylogenetic tree to determine if they're valuable. Another reason is that we can't always distinguish features that show shared ancestry from features that are similar but arose independently. Some characteristics were the same in both trees, such as body cavity and cephalization, yet this tree's defining trait was a common possession of Lophophore. This could lead to an inaccuracy because entoprocta only show superficial similarities with the tentacles of phoronids, yet all were branched together.
Wow, entoprocta are so interesting. I gotta have one for my aquarium. Here's our works cited, and thank you to the LMU Biology Department.